What's going on, guys? Tyler here, back with another Elementor video. And in today's video, we are talking about how to build a WordPress website using Elementor Cloud. And before we jump in, I want to give a special thank you to Elementor, who is sponsoring today's video. They have recently released the cloud platform, which we're going to be talking about today, but it's their latest product that they have put out, and it is really exciting. So if anytime during this video you want to get your hands on Elementor Cloud and you're ready to start, check out the link down below in the description and get your hands on Elementor Cloud. Now, if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, welcome, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see future videos just like this one. Now let's talk briefly about 4 basic parts that comprise a website. First, you're going to need a host. You're going to need somewhere for your website to live. Secondly, you're going to need a domain name to point people to that host. So when they type in www.yourwebsite.com, it redirects over to the host. Third, you're going to need some kind of infrastructure to kind of build your website. And a very common one is WordPress, and that's what we'll be using today. And fourth is some kind of actual website builder. You can go ahead and code from hand, but it's much easier to use some kind of drag and drop builder. And Elementor outpaces all of the other drag and drop builders when it comes to designing websites. Now, in the past, you've had to go out and subscribe to hosting. You've had to buy a domain name. You've probably wanted to upgrade to Elementor Pro. So you have money going out to a lot of different places and a bunch of different services that all need to work together. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I talk about that when you have a lot of third-party services trying to work together, sometimes things don't always go well. Even if everything still worked out, wouldn't it be better to just have everything all in one place? Well, that's where Elementor Cloud comes in. They've designed a hosting platform, a place to have WordPress, and to also use Elementor, all built into one structure. So today we're going to be building a website using Elementor Cloud, but I also want you to see the back end and the first part of this video where we actually go into setting up the website. All right, we're here on the Elementor Cloud homepage. I'm going to go ahead and click Get a Cloud Website here. And then if you have an Elementor account, you'll go ahead and log in with your Elementor account. If you don't, then go ahead and sign up for a new Elementor account. And again, you can check out all these links from down below in the description. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and proceed through the checkout process, and then you will be set up with your cloud hosting. All right, so I've just gone ahead and gone through the checkout process, and this is the screen I'm presented with. I'm going to go ahead and click Start Creating Your Website. And just like that, guys, we are setting up our Elementor website. Let's go ahead and give our site a name. All right, I'm going to go ahead and name my website Business Card because we made a video about how cool it was to have a virtual business card using an Elementor website. So let's go ahead and design one of those here. And then it'll come up and tell me what my domain name is. Now you can see that the name that they assigned me is my website name .elementor.cloud. But if I wanted a .com website, like a .com URL, what I'm going to do is go over to a place like GoDaddy or wherever my favorite domain registrar is. I'll go ahead and register whatever name I want there, and then we'll set that up later. And you can see there's a little note right here. You can purchase and add a custom domain later also. Next, it's going to ask me what type of website I'm creating. Am I creating a portfolio, a blog, an online store, a business, or corporate website? Let's go ahead and click a portfolio. This is kind of more tailored towards kind of my portfolio, my business card, that type of thing. Also, just before I jump to this step, you can skip this step if maybe it doesn't really apply and you just kind of want to start with a blank canvas. You definitely can skip this step also. But if you don't skip that step, then in step 4, it's going to come up with a lot of suggested website kits to go ahead and start designing. And you can see these are beautiful designs already set up and ready to go. So I'll just go ahead and click on one of them. This one looks really good right here. Let's go ahead and start with this kit. So now this just takes a minute. You can see it's activating the Elementor Pro plugin on my dashboard. So we'll have Elementor Pro ready to go and all set up once we are there. But guys, it's just this simple. It's doing all the heavy lifting for me. You can see right now they're applying a basic theme to our website. So we're going to be totally set up and just ready to rock just this easy with Elementor Cloud. Ta-da! Our website is ready. That took about 2 to 3 minutes and our website is totally set up. Now it says right here that we should go ahead and check our email for our login credentials. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I hit let's go, and this is where it brought me back to our Elementor dashboard. You can see this is the website that I normally have, my main website that I use. But right over here, we now have this new website business card, and we can go ahead and open the WordPress dashboard here, or we can actually go ahead and edit with Elementor Elementor. Let's just jump right in and hit edit with Elementor and see what happens here. Wow, that was honestly a very quick process. Look at that. We're ready to edit our website already. This is one reason that I'm so excited about this feature. You know, despite that Elementor is sponsoring this video, I am really excited about this feature because the biggest pain and hassle of setting up a website is going out, finding hosting, or finding someone that will actually host your website, actually getting a domain name and all of that set up and all the propagation, and then having to go into your host and edit all of that information and stuff like that. It's just a huge process. And then you have to install WordPress, then you have to install Elementor, then you have to go get an Elementor Pro plugin and actually install it. It's just so much work in the up front before you can even type hello world on the screen. But this makes it so much faster. I'm literally so excited about this, and this is definitely the route that I would take, and I would suggest you guys take if you're looking at going with Elementor or Elementor Pro. And the price was fantastic. I really think this is just a quicker, smoother, and faster route. And also, here's something that people probably have not mentioned about this, is that Elementor is your host, meaning Elementor is hosting specifically for the drag and drop builder that you're using. So if you think there's going to be any kind of optimization happening, it's definitely going to be coming from the person that is actually hosting their own drag and drop builder. I really do believe that. I know they have optimization now, but if you think that there will be optimization in the future from any host, from SiteGround, HostGator, GoDaddy, it's gonna come from Elementor because they are working for their own products. And while we're talking about this, before we actually jump in and start designing the parts of our websites, I do want to mention that this Elementor Cloud comes with an SSL cert also. So if you're worried about, having a secure connection or an HTTPS connection, this Elementor Cloud will come with that, and you'll be able to have that SSL cert. Another thing people are concerned with are backups of their website. They spend a lot of time working on their website, and what if they update some plugin or something and everything starts to crumble and crash? Or what if you accidentally delete a web page or something like that? Something big happens. And a lot of times these hosts have backup services. I know when I was with Bluehost, we were paying a lot of money a month for this backup service. Well, Elementor says, no, that's included here. We're going to give you the nightly backups. That means every single night your website is backed up, and that backup is going to stay good for 14 days. So you can actually restore up to about 2 weeks ago. If your website just crumbled and you only found out about it, 5 days after the actual issue happened, then you can go back and go ahead and restore before that point and fix all of those bugs and issues with that fresh backup. Also, you get the ability to set manual backup points. So if you're going to go ahead and update WordPress to a new version, or maybe you're going to update a new plugin and you're not sure if it's totally stable, definitely just run a quick manual backup and then go ahead and make that update and see if everything is working smoothly. It's really worry-free, and I've had to be on the end of websites that were not properly backed up and that have crashed, and it is a complete headache, let me tell you. And last feature that I really want to mention about Cloud that I think is a game changer here is actually all of my best top performing YouTube videos have been about how to solve little tiny issues or bugs in Elementor, because sometimes you run into a little problem. You've got this big complex website you've designed, and then there's a little something that you're not sure how to tweak it or fix it or what it is. Imagine how nice it would be to have 24/7 access to an Elementor professional that can actually go ahead and debug that for you and help you work through those type of issues. Elementor has 24/7 live chat that you can actually chat with Elementor about the hosting or the editor, and they also have premium support that are there, and they're there to respond usually within a day. That's a really fast support response time. I know I've waited multiple days for hosting sites to respond to me about issues. And so this is a really fast response time. And it's just a fantastic service. I've used Elementor support in the past. They are fantastic. They've always resolved my issues, and I've never had those bugs pop up again. And turns out it was a user error issue in the first place, but they were very kind about it, and they were able to resolve it very quickly. All right, let's jump back in, and you can see I just found there's a really cool effect when I move my mouse, all the images move as well. That's really pretty cool. What I want to see for this website is I want it to kind of be like a portfolio, kind of business card type style website. I also want to have a very clean and crisp feel to it. I want it to feel very modern and very business professional here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is the first thing I always do is pull up the navigator here in Elementor. You can see this is the navigator right here. I can drag it around the page wherever I want to put it. This is going to show me kind of the section breakdown and what's inside the sections. There's columns inside here and what elements are actually inside here. So if I want to edit a specific column, but I can't pinpoint it here on the screen, I can just simply click here and pull it up. Now I've gone ahead and kind of looked at this template. I really like this about section right here. And this one down here looks really nice too. Unfortunately, I don't think this hero section will fit right for what I'm trying to design this site for. So I'm just simply going to right click here and go ahead and delete that section and the hero part 2. Now let's go ahead and delete those and start here with what I want here. This is just like the hello there section. Looks like we got a lot of spacing here, and then we have the header up here. Now this is the header right here. We can go ahead and actually edit that. Let's go ahead and just update our page here, and then let's work on the header because I want to make sure the header looks kind of good before we actually start working on the page. Okay, now we're in the header. Now you can see I can actually go ahead and update and click anywhere here on the header. Let's go ahead and duplicate this column right here. I kind of want to put the menu on the left side and have kind of my name on the right side. So let's go ahead and do that. We don't need this image. We're not going to use a logo here. We're just going to use my name. Okay, that already aligned there to the left side perfectly. Let's go ahead and delete this image as well. And then let's go ahead and add in over here. Let's move the navigator, add in a heading here. We'll just put it below the menu here. And as you can see, the text is huge. We can just go ahead and type in my name here, Tyler E. Morrison, the same as my YouTube there. And then we'll go ahead and go to Style, Typography, and drag this down. We want a good size here. 32 looks pretty good right there. I think that's a good size. Perfect. That's looking really good. And you can see we have a second menu here because we duplicated that column. We'll go ahead and delete that there. All right, now the only thing left to do is probably align this to the right side. So let's go ahead and edit this text again, this heading here. We'll go to content and go down to alignment and push it to the right. And wow, look at that. We have such a nice header and it's all set up. It follows what I'm looking for, this kind of business, simple, professional, but clean and modern style here. I really like that font a lot. Let's go ahead and see what font this is. This is the Poppins font. That's a really nice font right there. I really like that. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to our web page here. We'll go ahead and update the header. We'll go back to our web page here and go ahead and hit edit page. And let's go ahead and edit this because there's obviously some big space here. So my first guess is to check this section and see if there's any kind of like top margin here. And it looks like there is 12. So that's referring to percent. So 12%. So let's actually maybe just get rid of that altogether. There is a 5% margin on the top, or padding here, 5% padding here in the section. So the top of the section down to the text and the bottom of the section as well, it looks like. 5% there from the bottom. So let's go ahead and just remove this margin altogether and set it to 0. Let's take a look. That looks pretty good, actually. I like that a lot, actually. It's looking really good. Let's go ahead and update this. I kind of like when you hover over the header, it kind of shows like a bar down here. I kind of like that, so I'm just going to add it. A black bar and see how it looks. So let's go ahead, we're in the header again. Let's just go ahead and click on this section. Let's go to, we'll go to style here. We'll go to border. We'll go to border type. We'll do a solid border. Let's go ahead and unlink these values and go to bottom. Let's add like maybe a 3 pixel border to the bottom. You can see that added that line. That's a little too thick. Maybe a 2 pixel. Maybe just 1 pixel, honestly. Yeah, I'm kind of liking the 1 pixel. Let's go ahead and update that and go back to editing the page. Yeah, actually that looks really good. I like the 1 pixel line border. I think it looks really good. It just kind of makes the header separate a little bit from the web page, if that makes sense. That's looking really good. Now let's go ahead and we have a big hello there. I actually like this. I want to maybe change it to just hello. and then maybe add an image in here somewhere. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna simply click here and go ahead and delete that. So we have just a nice hello. And there was some kind of entrance animation actually. If we just go ahead and actually refresh the page after we update, you can see the hello comes up with some kind of entrance animation here. Like they kind of like cross, and I like that a lot. That's kind of a cool kind of feature that people see when they load up my site. So let's go ahead and add in maybe another column here actually. Let's see if we can add in, yeah, perfect. That's actually perfect. We'll go ahead and shrink this column a little bit. It doesn't need to be huge. Let's do that. Let's see if we can get rid of this hello here. So now we just have a column here. I kind of want to just add a picture, kind of so something is kind of with this text over on the right side. So there's kind of like a hello, and then there's a picture with text about me on the right side there. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab an image and then drop it in here, and then we can go ahead and click here. And I probably don't have any images uploaded. I don't, it doesn't look like. We got some media library images here. So normally I would go ahead and upload an image, but since I have this nice side profile here, I'm just going to go ahead and add that in right there. Go ahead and hit insert media. And I'm kind of wanting it more in like a circular shape. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and hit style. I'm going to go ahead and the width, let's make it maybe, yeah, that's pretty good right there. I think something like that. What we're going to do is go down to border radius. Let's go ahead and crank the border radius all the way up. You can see that's rounding the corners there. But if I keep going up with it, you can see it's actually going to make it like completely round. Now you can see that it's kind of rounding the edges here, but it's still kind of long. It's not in a circle yet. So let's go back here to content. Let's go ahead and set the image size. Let's change it to custom. Let's do like 1,000 by 1,000. I think that'll make it a square image, and then those rounded corners should make it kind of circular there. Yeah, perfect. So it makes it circular there. I like that. This is looking really good already. Let's go ahead, let's align it here so we can stay in the image, and we can just align it to the right, put it right up against the text there. I honestly think this looks really good. If we wanted to do some kind of like super interesting, like kind of fancy design here, we could actually even maybe slide this over a little bit. Yeah, so this is kind of crazy. I'm doing something kind of going out on a limb here. I'm going to go ahead and edit the text here. I'm going to go to advanced, and under margin, we're going to slide it to the left. I'm going to unlink these values, go with a negative margin on the left. And as you can see, that's kind of putting it over the image. I really like that. I think that's really cool. And then we would do the same thing here with this text here. Let's go into advanced, uncheck the margin. And what was this one set at here? This one was set at -20. Let's go and set this one at maybe probably the same thing so it stays in line there. Well, we need to do a negative value there. Perfect. I honestly think that looks really cool. So we're kind of getting set up here. So we have a new custom header. We now have this kind of fancy design and a profile picture here. And the text on the right is actually overlapping the profile picture on the left. Not bad. Let's go ahead and update this. All right, and then lastly, I kind of like this style here. I kind of want this 4 square pattern. But one thing I do want to change is maybe I'll just make them buttons. So actually in the end, we probably don't need this section. Let's just go ahead and remove that section right there. Now, okay, what I want to do is kind of add a grid of like 4 basically boxes with contact information in it. Now I want to add the contact information here, but I want to have it in like 4 boxes, and I want it to be black and white to follow our same theme. And I just kind of want to have like 2 up top and 2 down low, kind of wider like rectangle buttons. So I'm going to go with an intersection here. Now with this intersection, it's going to allow me to have multiple columns in the same section and in the same column here. So you can see there's my main section here. There's 1 column, but now I have 2 columns within the intersection. Now this is going to be nice because I'll show you actually how we're going to do this. Let's go ahead. So we now have, looks like 1, 2, we have 2 columns there. Let's go ahead and drag in some buttons here. We'll just drag in 1 for now. And then you can see it's kind of black and white. I kind of want a hollow, like a kind of see-through button with black text and a black border. So let's see if we can make that here. We'll just go into edit. We'll go to typography. I really like the pop-ins. Oh, it's already set to pop-ins. Perfect. Let's go ahead and set this, the background color. We'll go ahead and change the background color here to a transparent. I want to keep that transparent there. And then we're going to go ahead and add a border type. We'll add a solid border. We'll add a width of like maybe 1 there. We need to add a color. Let's make it a black color here. So there we go, perfect. Now you can see that it's come back and it's black there. Now let's go ahead and add, we didn't change our text, text color right here. Let's go ahead and add that, make that black as well. So you can see here, now we have this black kind of outline and the black text. I really want a thicker border there. And it's kind of rounded corners. I want to keep the edges sharp. So let's go ahead and set our border radius to 0. That's going to keep the edges really sharp there. That's looking good so far. I think that maybe something about our text. Let's go ahead and adjust our text a little bit. Okay, so I raised the text size a little bit, but the text is a little thin. I think we need to thicken it up just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and add some weight to it. That looks better. Honestly, that to me looks a lot better. It kind of blends with this hello up here. It looks pretty good. It blends with our theme really nicely. So I think we're looking good across our theme here. Let's go ahead and bring it here to the right side. All we'll do is go ahead and go to content, align to the right, and there we go. Now what we want to do is actually go ahead and duplicate this button and then duplicate it again and again and again. All right, everything's looking good now here. Now I want to show you the reason I did this in an intersection. Now if I want to actually go ahead and add maybe an image right next to this, what I could do is I'm now focusing, so there's 2 columns inside the intersection, but there's just 1 column outside. So if I go ahead and actually add new column outside, now you can see the buttons all kind of slide over here. So let's actually widen the section just a little bit to show you what this will look like here. We'll make it, let's do like 800 wide, okay? Perfect. Now you can see we now have another column. All of our buttons stayed together just like we wanted it. But let's actually put them on the other side. We'll put the column over here. So if we actually extend this out, now we have all of our buttons lined up here. But let's say we wanted to put some kind of little image here, we could definitely do that. Let's go with maybe an icon here on the left. I'm gonna go ahead and drag that in. Let's go ahead and click on that, and you can see you have access to all of these icons here with Elementor Pro. I'm gonna go ahead and just search for phone. I think that's kind of gonna look good if this one right here, this phone alt, I think looks pretty good. I wanna make this kind of big here. So let's go to style here, we'll go to size and drag our slider up so it's actually kind of big there. That looks pretty good. All right guys, so I went ahead and made a few changes here, and this is what I came up with. As you scroll, you can see the phone rotates. We got those extra lines down here. We got 1 bolded button here. And as you refresh the page, you can see everything kind of loads in at different angles, at different animations, and it kind of loads in. And as you get that scrolling phone effect, you have just a lot going on the page, and I really think it all matches and blends together. I think it's very stylish and artistic. I think it's very modern and clean, which is exactly what we were going for. So I'm super excited to say that our website is ready to go. All right, now I've gone ahead and typed in our URL at the top, and this is in an incognito browser. This means we're no longer logged into WordPress on this browser. This is just as if we were a brand new visitor coming to your site. Now you can see it says, sorry, this website is hidden right now, but it does give us the option to put in a PIN number and then go ahead and view the website. Now, if we wanted to send this to a client before we were ready to launch or send it to someone to check it out, we can send them this link with a PIN number and have them check it out. This is called Sitelock. This is a feature that Elementor offers as well. Now, we don't need to worry about this. We're just going to go ahead and launch our website. So let's go back over to the Elementor dashboard here. And if we go back here to myelementor.com, we're logged into our Elementor account. You can see right here, this is our website. We can go ahead, you see it says Sitelock is on. We can go ahead and click manage this website. Scroll down. This is where you'll manage everything about your website, including backup. So I did want to mention this here. If you need to restore or export a backup, you can do that right here. But we're going to go ahead and deal with Sitelock right here. If you need to change the PIN or reset it, you can do all of that from right here. But let's go ahead and turn Sitelock off and launch our site. So we're going to go ahead and click unlock site. It may ask you to verify your email address if you have not verified it yet. And once our site is unlocked, we should be good to go. All right, I just turned Sitelock off. Let's go ahead and launch our site and see if it comes up here. Let's go ahead and use that URL they gave us. And look at that, our site is completely up and launched. And it just took a few minutes, guys, to actually get this whole process done, from signing up all the way to launching our website. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really have enjoyed making it, and thank you so much to Elementor for sponsoring today's video. But again, guys, personally, I am very excited for Elementor Cloud. I think it is a phenomenal product, and there's so much complexity behind it that they've reduced into just one simple product, one simple place to manage your entire website, from hosting to your drag and drop building. It's just such a fantastic, helpful tool, and it's really a great price. If you guys want to check out the price, go ahead and click that down below and you can get your hands on that. I'll have a link down below in the description to it. It is really a good deal. Also, guys, I do want to mention, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, be sure and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to help this video out, drop a like. It really does go a long way. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.